Let's go. Let's go. Wait for y'all good people to come in. Then we can start it up. Very interesting last night, huh? NBA world was interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, right? I'm here, y'all. I'll be there. I see y'all coming in right now. Pause. That sound crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I see y'all. Let it come. Pause. We gonna talk about it. Right. What's good, my guys? Hold that thought. Right. All right. Enough of the bullshit. Right. So we here, right? We here. We here. You know how it goes. Whoever can get in, get in. That sound. Pause. If y'all can hear me good, one in the chat. That's all I need. If y'all can... All right, everything sound like it's all right. Everything sound like it's good. We gonna get into this. I don't. It's crazy because as much shit as I talk, I don't even know where to begin, yo. I don't know where to begin. We just gonna get straight into it. Soon as a couple more people come in the chat, I'm gonna get my good old guys. You know they're fire shoutouts. You know how that goes, right? My guys come first. Paul, that sound crazy. I gotta chill with it. I'm saying some crazy shit, right? But guys, right? We had a nice conversation yesterday, right? We had a nice conversation. We had a nice live. It was cool. We all brought up some good points. Did you guys think shit was going... I don't even like cursing in the first 5 minutes, right? But did you guys think that the games was going to end up the way they did? Bfyre. Last night, told y'all. Is it over? Is it like officially over? No, it's not officially over, but we already know what's going on, right? There's no way you can go and get Boston at the price that they're giving them now and just think that they're gonna give away easy money like that.
Are you fucking serious?
Sportsbooks is not gonna do that. So I hope a lot of y'all know it's a wrap for Boston. It's a wrap. Boston is done. There's no coming back from this. Right? When we had this discussion yesterday, it was like, okay, so if Boston ties it up 2-2, that's the reason why I said yesterday those odds, right? Those the New York Knicks Boston odds from yesterday, right? Remember, let me just put it up again. And if anybody that's wondering, this is from these were hold on, I got it already. These were yesterday odds, right? Yesterday odds. I said, look at this, right? Remember, Later, it was late in the live when I brought this up. I said, this doesn't make no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. That's why we always question if sports is real or is it rigged, scripted, and fixed. Because realistically, these are not supposed to be the odds. Why would the books keep it as that? In real basketball, yes, I said it, in real basketball, it don't matter if the Boston Celtics were the previous NBA champions. It don't matter. You are down 2-1. The Knicks is still a 3 seed. So it's not like Boston was facing the 8th seed or 7th seed or 6th seed or 5 seed, right? They was facing a 3 seed. Boston was only what? They was the number 2 seed. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So if Boston was the 2 seed, New York was the 3 seed, then New York is the one that's up 2-1, right? And I do know the Knicks, they, I know one can argue, well, we won those games through comebacks. Yes, they did, but Boston still let them come back. You get what I'm saying? At home, at that, right? New York Knicks blew it at home in Game 3, of course. You have to be careful when the Knicks play in the Garden, right? Of course, I always say that. But there was no way that this game was going to be some type of a Boston Celtics blowout, like back-to-back like that. There was no way that was going to happen. It's too risky for books. That's why I always tell people, even the ones out here that don't bet, you should always pay attention to the betting lines. The betting lines will help you as a fan get an idea of what's going on, what can happen, what could possibly happen, what's going to happen, blah, 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 all that You know what I'm talking about, right? And look what happened yesterday. Now, there was a lot of people that still said Boston comeback. I don't blame nobody for the Boston comeback. Bro, that's why I said it was one of these matches. It was one of these matches where you're like, it's a toss-up. It is a toss-up. The reason why I was going with the Knicks was because, there was a lot of factors that went into it. We broke it down yesterday. I think we broke it down right? It didn't seem right. It's something that didn't seem right because when I saw that the Knicks went to the second round, right? I said, oh, the Knicks is known for losing in that second round, right? Last week I said that. Yesterday I said that, right? They're known for losing in the second round. So now they got Boston Celtics, the previous NBA champions, in the second round. The books is like, you know what everybody's going to think. New York Knicks against the Celtics in the second round. The Knicks is always blown it in the second round. The Boston Celtics are the previous NBA champions. Oh, we got something in store for these people.
Are you fucking serious?
Understand what I'm saying, right? That right there was a dead giveaway right there. That's the reason why I took New York Knicks to beat Boston in this second round, the matchup. Yes, got it at plus money. I'm looking real good. I'm ready to get paid out. But I also got them going to the NBA Finals. Whatever happens in the NBA Finals, I'm not going to touch that until we get there, meaning if they're going to win or not. We got to see the matchup. But come on, people. It was so funny how it happened yesterday, too. Now, I got my man Mike Lenz. He's in the building. My man, Pisco Watts, he's in the building. My man Lobo, in the goddamn building, guard your children. That's my boy right there. My man Native Baltimore, he's in the goddamn building. Ishmael Reeves, he's in the goddamn building. Money Man Wild, he's in the goddamn building, guard your children. Lombardi Lee, he's in the building, guard your children. Growtopia/Growtopia, fan in the goddamn building. DJ Horton in the goddamn building. And when I say the building, the ones that's in the chat, everybody else that's just tuned in, you could be anywhere in the world, but you here with me, and I appreciate all of y'all. So let's get straight into it. The goddamn New York Knicks. You surprised me, Knicks. Even though it's not officially over, you surprised me, Knicks. Maybe because I feel good that I'm about to get paid. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that's why. And you know what? Let me also tell you this too. For anybody out there, if you think the Knicks is still going to go to the NBA Finals, you know you can still get them at a plus 125 to win the Eastern Conference. That's a good price. You better take it now. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, Lobo? You understand what I'm saying, Money Wow? Grotopia, Grotopia. You understand what I'm saying, Ishmael? You understand what I'm saying, Money Man Wow? You understand what I'm saying, Mike? You understand what I'm saying, Bisco? Everybody else out there that's sitting there watching, you understand what I'm saying? You can get the New York Knicks at a plus 125 to win the Eastern Conference. And it's not funny. Take advantage. Now, if you feel like the Indiana Pacers is going to do well, you can get the Indiana Pacers at a good price too. They right under the Knicks. What are they? Plus one. Aren't they like maybe a plus 200? I'm going to check it right now in real time. Right? Well, yeah, you get the Indiana Pacers at a plus 210 if you think they're going to beat the Knicks again in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then if there's anybody that feels that way, why don't you can also do that and you can still get paid. But in order to really feel something, it was better to get the New York Knicks to beat Boston. You can get that at some good, great odds. Then if you would have the Pacers to win the Eastern Conference, then you can still double dip even more and add on to the Knicks. You're actually in a great situation. A great position, might I say. Does Cleveland Cavaliers come back? Now, the reason why I feel like the New York Knicks is going to go to the NBA Finals is because of this. I think they're going to beat the Pacers in a rematch, no matter what, right? That's just what I think. That's just what I think, right? That's what I think, like I said. But if you don't think that, you can get the Indiana Pacers at a plus 210, like I said. Don't play yourself. Put yourself in a good position. But right, we got the Knicks. If the Knicks beat them, they go. Another reason why I think the Knicks is going to go is because they should be wrapping this up early. If the Cleveland Cavaliers do go on some type of a run, the game has to go to a game 7 no matter what, because the Indiana Pacers is already up 3. We got one more game and they go to the next round. So this is going to have to be a game 7, right? And what do they always use? When these delusional fans always say, yeah, game 7 can tire you out for the next round. All right, so then let's go with that. If it's real, and there's a game 7 between Cavaliers and Pacers, you don't think that they're going to be fatigued when they go against the Knicks in the next round? You understand what I'm saying? The Knicks have to do it, and I'm getting to the chat in just a second. The Knicks have to do it now, right? What is the script going to be? Is the script going to be like, because now what's going to happen is some bullshit can happen, right? Do the Knicks close it out in Boston? Because you already know, most likely, time out. Before I sit there and talk, I don't like talking without getting these facts straight. Okay, the Knicks is underdogs, people. The Knicks is going to be underdogs the next game. Now, do I think they can just close it out? The game, it might go to 6. It might go to 6. It can go to 6, right? It's possible that it can go to 6. Yes. Very much so. Because everybody, they got the Boston Celtics as favorite. Be careful with that game, people. That might trick you. You might be tricked that game. Just be careful. The spread is 4.5. The Knicks are plus 4.5. We already know when it comes to basketball, football, 4.5 with the underdogs. Take the underdogs. Even if you don't want to take them straight up, you can take them with the spread. It possibly could be a tough game because, Boston possibly pull away, But then does the Knicks close out in the Garden? You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I would take the Knicks with 4.5. That's just for now. Until we get some other news, you already know that's gonna happen. And that's just pay attention to what happens today throughout the whole day. Leading into that game's Wednesday, right? Oh yeah. So today and tomorrow, just pay attention to whatever news you can pay attention to. Now 4.5, I think the line may change. May change a bit. Something like that. Well, who knows? Well, we have to pay attention to that. But people, what do you think? Boston Celtics don't repeat. Boston Celtics don't repeat. That's not what they do. I've said that thousands of times. And now last year, the people that was rocking with me last year, y'all already know I was all over Boston, right? When we did our NBA lives, and Boston Celtics gonna win the chip. Boston Celtics gonna win the chip for sure. They're gonna win the chip. Cold connections, the other Celtic connections, blah blah blah. The whole thing, Bill Russell, all these things connecting. Yeah, Boston Celtics gonna win the NBA championship. They won. They won. They don't do that twice. That's not what they do. The modern day Boston Celtics do not go back to back. They're not going to let them get so far gone above the Lakers organization when it comes to NBA championships. They want to keep it close. You understand what I'm saying? My man Flash Murdy's in the goddamn building. Right? What y'all talking about? Native said, my man Native, he said, Bfyre, I told someone from the East was going to get hurt. It's a fact. You was on to something. What did I say about fake injuries? They always happen at the right time to the right player.
Are you fucking serious?
Do I believe that injury was real? No, I don't. I mean, if somebody would say yes, it's real, I honestly, I need to know, what are the odds in this happening in professional sports all the time, that the best players, right? It's always the best players that always go down at a critical point in the game, no matter the sport. How ironic is that? Because realistically, I wouldn't be paying these players as much as I do if I already know when it comes down to it, you gonna get hurt. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. It's a gamble, right? It's what I pay you for. Are you always getting hurt? Now, I know, how could you blame somebody for getting hurt? No. It's when it happens, when it always happens. That's the reason why I go so hard on injuries. That's the reason why I'm quick to call something a fake injury, because it's when it happens. Pay attention to when it happens. That's what I'm saying. Jason Tatum, listen, Jason Tatum, this is what we're going to do for you, right? You're not going to win this year at all, Jason Tatum. It just is what it is. You got your ring already. Right? Jason, you got your ring already. This is what we're gonna need you to do. You're gonna have to lose to the Knicks. We gonna let you rock out, right? We ain't gonna just let you go. Listen, you're gonna score your points. You're gonna be on fire. 3-point galore. Buzzer beater galore. You're gonna do all that. But in that fourth quarter, when it's about, I don't know, seven minutes and less to, you're gonna have to get hurt. All right, Jason? You're gonna have to get hurt. This is what we pay you for. We gave you a championship. You're gonna have to get hurt. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's just it. At some point, a lot of fans gotta realize it is what it is. These injuries keep coming at weird times. And nobody ever questions the shit. Nobody. Why not? Why not? Money Man Wild said yesterday's stream, a lot of people hit on the money, what they were saying, crazy as hell. I shout out to every single one of y'all. We was on fire yesterday with our thoughts. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people said Celtics. That was the part where a lot of people was wrong on saying Celtics. But as far as the things that we were saying and right, what can possibly happen, what's going to happen, fake injury. Fake injury. I started laughing. Oh yeah, I was over there. I was over there by Madison Square Garden yesterday. Yeah, I was there. It was a big deal yesterday. It was a big deal yesterday. I started laughing. I had the drink in my hand. As soon as I saw it, I said, oh my God, here we go.
Are you fucking serious?
Why do these fans fall for it all the time? That's what I want to know. That's what kills me. Why do these fans fall for it all the time? What is it about these fans that they keep falling for it? Just pay attention. It's right there in front of you. Once again, if you don't sports bet, just still download FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever sports book you can download onto your phone. Shit, if you have to see the line by making an account, just make an account just to make it. You don't even have to fund your sports betting account. You don't have to do none of that. All you have to do is just download it and pay attention to the lines, pay attention to the future odds and all that. They tell you what's usually going to happen. Do we hit it right on the money 100%? No, we don't. But usually they're going to let you know what's going to happen. You people have to think straight. Stop being so freaking... Stop being so controlled. You have to have a mind for your goddamn self at some point, people.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm talking like this because I'm proved right once again. I know what the F I'm talking about when it comes to this shit. The only way we can shut it down is if we all have that same mind frame. That's how you can move the needle. But I can't do it by myself. I can't do it by myself. Injuries. That is one of the easiest ways to get away from rigging, scripting, or fixing a game, because the casual fan will never question an injury. A casual fan is they're gonna believe it. They're gonna believe it. And let me say this too. Cause you get some people that hit me up and say, oh my God, you hate them so much. Look, what you gotta say now. They won. Hold on. Right? Hold on. For anybody that's wondering that don't know, I bet on the Knicks to beat the Boston Celtics and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And also to win the Eastern Conference Finals. I bet on the Knicks to win. For those that don't know, I'm going to say it one more time, right? For those that don't know, that thinks that I was just hoping on the Knicks' downfall, no. I put my money on the line that the Knicks was going to beat the Boston Celtics. There's a lot of fans that they won't put that money on the line. I put my money on the line that they was going to beat the Boston Celtics. They about to do that. I also have money that they're going to go to the NBA Finals. I don't know about winning. When it's time to cross that road, we cross it. But I put money that the Knicks was going to move on to the next round. So if anybody thinks I'm just hating on them, no. What I'm trying to say is you have to calm down when it comes to the Knicks, because when they go to MSG, they usually fuck up.
Are you fucking serious?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows that, but I bet money on the Knicks to beat Boston. So I feel good. So I don't want anybody to think that, oh my God, okay, you're for the Knicks or not. No, I'm somebody that can be real when it comes to the New York Knicks. I can be real about it. And I'm feeling real good that my tickets are going to cash for the New York Knicks beating the Boston Celtics. But I'm more hyped because of how I said it was going to happen, and it happened the exact way. A fake injury. I called it. It's the only way you're going to do it. It's the only way you can do it. Lobo says Boston is cooked like some pineapple steak. That's a fact. They're done. Could they still win another game? Yes. And the Knicks can win 4-2. If the Knicks was to lose this, you know what? I don't even want to talk about that. I think they'll just blow the whole organization up. Money Man says this community called out a lot of BS yesterday and just to get validation at the end. This is crazy work. People, we know what we talking about over here. We know what we talking about over here, Rick Scripted and Fixed. I keep trying to tell people. We know what we talking about over here. I don't know what everybody else is talking about in the other communities, right? But we told you what was going to happen. Yes, there was people going for Boston. I mean, because it's the Knicks. I understand why. But, I mean, the sign's right there in front of you. When are you people going? Listen, I just want y'all to wake up. Just wake up. It's ridiculous, right? Yes, Grow Top. Yes, we're gonna get to that Cooper. Yeah, we shortly gonna touch on that Cooper Flag joint. What we got here? Yes, we called that joint right down the middle. Listen, Celtics championship run last year. This is what Flashy is saying, people. It's not a comment, it's him. Celtics championship run last year. The opposing star actor had the fake injuries each round. Each team that they faced, somebody on that team, the star, had an injury problem. You know what the NBA said? It's your turn. It's your turn, Boston. You know what? I don't think Boston is winning anytime soon, to tell you the truth. I don't think they're going to win the championship anytime soon. For a while. Because that's not what they do. They're usually one-offs. They go back to the championship, yeah, but I guarantee you that next time they go to the championship, if Boston Celtics go back to the NBA championship within the next 3 years. Let's say that. The next 3 years, starting from next season, the 2025-26 season, right? So that's the 26, 27, 28 season, right? I guarantee you, I'm saying it now. Today is May 13th, 2025. If the Boston Celtics go back to the NBA Finals in the next 3 years, I guarantee you they will not, I don't care who they go against, they will absolutely not win.
Are you fucking serious?
I guarantee it. I'm saying it now. Y'all can clip and save this. May 13th, 2025. If Boston Celtics end up going to shit, if they was to come back and go against, if they was to come back and beat the Knicks, they're not going to win this year. Next year, they're not going to win. The year after that, they're not going to win. And even the year after that. If they go to the NBA Finals, yeah, it's a possibility, but they are going to lose. That's a guarantee. See, I don't go on what TV tells me. I go on common sense. And I go on the patterns. It's a pattern. It's things that they don't like to talk about. Always pay attention to what the media doesn't talk about. Forget about what they talk about. And what I mean by forget about is no. You gotta take it and put it in your notes, of course. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it and put it in your notes. But what I'm saying, in general, don't listen to pay attention to what they don't want to say. That's how I learned to be better at betting, to have more knowledge in every sport, right? I always pay attention to what you're not saying. And I'm talking about the media, that is. Why aren't they saying it? Especially if it's nothing that is bad or offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like you know how they come up with their little stats, but we also have the stats that we may come up with here in Rig, Script, and Fix, here in this community, right? Why don't they ever talk about the things that we talk about? Because it's too knowledgeable. That right there can help be a better. If you get what I'm saying. What are you not talking about? I don't care about what you talking about. What are you not talking about? What are you not talking about? That's what I want to know. That's why we need spaces like this. Because a person like me is not going to have the opportunity to be on no ESPNs, FS1s, and speak. Right? Or have one of them have me on YouTube, one of their big YouTube shows or something like, no. You putting out too much information. They don't like that. First off, people don't even know it's producers that's telling you what you have to talk about. You do know that, right? You do know that. You do know that. I have to talk my shit. I have to. And I'm going to. Because, once again, I was proved right once again about how this goes. People, stop falling for it. Stop. Grotopia says, I agree, Bfyre stuck on 18. Celtics won in 2008, then had a 16-year drought. The playoffs is wide open. Anyone can win, mostly. This is up for grabs now. I honestly, that's the reason why I can't call an NBA champion yet. I gotta see what happens. I want to see who's the final 4 teams. Because the second round's not over yet. Until the Knicks finish the Celtics off, it's not over yet. Until the Pacers finish the Cavaliers off, It's not over until OKC finishes off Denver, or vice versa, because it seems like they go back and forth, kind of. It's not over until Minnesota officially eliminates the Warriors. That's not over. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go by what is, right? But I tell you, out of all those teams that's left, there's no chance Boston's gonna win.
Are you fucking serious?
I know that for sure, and I can speak on that. I don't care what nobody say. I'm already crossing them off. I crossed them off when the plays first started anyway. I said no chance Boston's gonna win. They don't go back to back. They're not gonna do that with that organization. Larry Bird is the best thing. That's up for debate. Because there's still people that hold Bill Russell right there, right? So let me just say that they're not gonna let no Celtic be better than Bill Russell or even a Larry Bird. I'm sorry. Celtics had some greats after, yes, but they're gonna make sure nobody fills Larry Bird's shoes or even Bill Russell's shoes. Shit, they didn't even let Larry Bird fill Bill Russell's shoes, if you really think about it. Talking about organization. I know it's different eras, but that's my whole point. Larry Bird comes in, you would have thought, nah, we want to give you more chips than we gave Bill Russell. Talk about the NBA, that is. That didn't even happen. And Larry Bird is held to high regard. So if they're not even going to let somebody like Larry Bird have more rings than the Bill Russell, anybody after Larry Bird have no chance in hell.
Are you fucking serious?
That's the things I think about. Which leads me into why I keep trying to tell y'all fans, right? You have to pay attention to what's going on with your team. Immediately cross off your team, your state, your city have any chance of winning. For instance, I'm not trying to sound funny, but who's the just write it in the chat. Who's the Milwaukee Bucks head coach? In the chat, please. In the chat, please. Milwaukee Bucks head coach, Doc Rivers. Ooh, Doc Rivers. Right? Doc Rivers. Yeah, there you go, Cactus Jack in the building. So y'all get what I'm saying with this, right? So if you are a Milwaukee Bucks fan or a supporter, you have to be dumb as shit if you ever think that they're going to win championship with a coach like Doc Rivers.
Are you fucking serious?
You understand what I'm saying? You should Milwaukee Bucks fans should immediately say, we're not going to none of the games. We're not going to watch them on TV. We have no chance of winning. There's no chance we are going to win. This is what I keep trying to tell people. You have to pay attention to what's in front of you. That's for all sports. If you known to have a coach who chokes a lot, what makes you think he's going to go to your team and he's going to win? Please tell me, what the hell is wrong with you? Right? I can also say, okay, if you are a fan of the San Antonio Spurs, right? If you are a fan of the San Antonio Spurs, who is the San Antonio Spurs point guard right now? He's been in the league for a while. If you are a fan of the San Antonio Spurs and you think you're going to win a championship, do you think they're going to win a championship with, please write who their point guard is? In the chat, please. Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Any team Chris Paul goes to, do they win? Do they win? What I'm trying to say is every coach, every player has a certain script. If you have to pay attention to what you got. Stop thinking that you're gonna win, whether this is real or fake. Stop thinking that you're gonna win when you have a certain player that joins your organization. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of some players and coaches are just chokers, right? Doc Rivers was the one-off coach. We're gonna give you that 2008 ring. You ain't gonna win nothing else after that.
Are you fucking serious?
But this is how we can, the books and the league together, this is how we can get money off of the league. I mean, this is how we can get money off of these stupid bettors. Because a lot of these bettors is still going off of the 2008 Doc Rivers. Somebody tell me I'm lying. It's a business. And this is no disrespect to Doc Rivers as a person. I'm talking about the role that the NBA has him as. No disrespect to Chris Paul. This is the role that they have him as. You see what I'm saying? Whenever we can even talk about football, we can go down the line with a lot of teams, right? When you have a certain coach or a certain player on your team that's known to be a choker or they don't win, why when they come to your team, you just think they magically gonna give y'all a championship or some shit? Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
What's wrong? Bro, and that's the shit that actually makes me angry and upset. My man Lorenzo in the goddamn building. He says when these players get some type of intel on them not advancing to the to the next round, when all in doubt to the fake injury route. That's how they do. Lorenzo, that's exactly how they save players, if you notice. We have them get injured. We have them play good. And then pull that rug from right under everybody's feet and have them injured. Now, guess what's going to happen? Jason Tatum cannot actually be blamed for the Knicks advancing to the next round. Partly blame, because, you know what happened game 1 and 2 when he had the ball, right? But one can say, yo, look what he did last night. He dropped 42 points, right? And then you get injured? Ironically, Jason Tatum, the best player on the Celtics, gets injured. I know there's a lot of people that just don't want to believe in that whole theory of fake injuries. But you got to understand it's true. These injuries are fake, bro. This is how we're going to save you from shame. Fake fucking injury. Who's going to tell you that your ankle's really not hurt? Who? You know what I'm saying? Bfyre can't tell you. I can say it, but I don't have no real proof, though, right? Unless I'm right there with Jason Tatum, right? The regular person can't really prove it. You're not within arm's reach of Jason Tatum, so you really don't know, right? So one can't question it. So that's the reason why sometimes when you go and watch, these morning shows on TV, right? They're gonna talk as if it was a real injury, when we know it was not a real injury. You keep going down. It happens all the time. A lot of players do this for certain reasons. Because it's all about that money, people. It's all about that money. Aaron Rodgers, when he went down the first game of the Jets within seconds, you guys really think that shit was real? You know how much money was on the Jets that year? How much money was on the Jets that game? And Rodgers, that's your year off. Take your year off. At some point, greats do get rewarded with years off. You do know that, right? Michael Jordan retired 1,000 times. You don't think one of those years was take a year off? Take a year or a year and a half off. Somebody like Michael Jordan was too valuable to be like have him injured. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't have him injured. That's not how we're gonna lose Mike. We're gonna lose Mike to take a year off. You know what I'm saying? Certain plays you can't do that to. I just want y'all to think. That's all. I be going off because I just want y'all to think. These injuries are not real at all. Have we seen some real injuries? Yes, we have. As a whole? No. Because why is it always the best players? There's there's other players that do get injured or whatever, but y'all not making no big deal about that, right? Sometimes we don't even know, right? But then even if when they do get injured, they seem to come right back for some reason. But when it comes to the best players, he's questionable to come back. He's questionable to return this game, and then that shifts the whole odds. And people's really falling for that shit. It's ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself. Lobo says the fake injury route straight out of the LeBron James playbook. That's how they shame LeBron. Not shame LeBron, but LeBron, see what we're going to do with you is say that you have injury problems. You're going to get the whole injury thing. And you want to know why it can work? Because LeBron James has been playing in the league. He came in the league in 2003/24, the 2003-24 season. So it's kind of easy to go the injury route with LeBron James. You get what I'm saying? He's been playing for years. He put a lot of mileage on that body, even though, yes, he spends the most money to work out. You see what I'm saying? He spends all that most money to work out, but for some reason, he's still injury prone. Which one is it? See, I listen to what you say. You see what I'm saying? I listen to what is said. And also, no, I didn't make it to the goddamn NBA. But I know the game. I know basketball. When you on that court, listen, the things that you see, that's not how real basketball is. And because you got to think about it. If we're playing a real game, it's between Team A and Team B. Forget the fans. The fans should not dictate what happens in this game. The media should not dictate what happens in the game. TV should not dictate what happens in the game. If it's me against you, we're going to ball on that court to see who's the best person, right? You can't sit there and say we still have basketball can be real, but we still also have to put on show for the fans. It can only be one. It can't be both. If it's real, you cannot then tell me how I'm supposed to move to win this game, because then now it becomes a scripted game.
Are you fucking serious?
That's the whole point of why people say shit is scripted. You see what I'm trying to? You see how I'm breaking it down for y'all? And that's the reason why, like, hearing knuckleheads say, "Oh, it's not." Bro, it can either be one of the other. Either basketball is scripted or it's real. Because you can't sit there and say, okay, once again, I respect basketball. But it's kind of actually hard to have it be real and still be on TV. You want to know why? Because you still have to cater. It's still a lot of business that goes on with that, right? There's a lot of companies that buy commercial slots. So think about that. I have to move a certain way to win this game because a car company bought a slot, a time slot, to show their car. You guys following me, right? We have to move a certain way. We have to take this time out on purpose because this company here has to show their product. That's not how it works. That's not. Now you're gonna have somebody that's a real brainiac or smarty pants. Talk all these numbers and all this big shit. That don't mean nothing, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, when it comes to real competition, you really can't have it be real if you're gonna put it on a big stage like that. There's no way you can do that. There's no way you can do that. Absolutely no way. It's hard. Hold on. Absolutely, positively, no way that can happen. I'm sorry. I know how this goes. I know how production goes, and I know how real sports goes. You can't slow my momentum up just because you want to show a commercial. Or if you have a star player, I have to move a certain way because I may be a B level or C level player, right? But I have to move a certain way because we have to make sure player A gets the ball in his hands more than player B and player C does. Granted, I know, okay, that does happen in playing ball in backyard and shit. Yes, the best player is going to have the ball more, but pay attention to how he has that ball versus when you play professional sports, how they got to make sure it's always in his hands. He gets the court, he gets the calls, he gets the commercials and everything. That's not how real basketball goes, though. It's not. And then it's almost as if you are player B or if you're player C and you humiliate player A, it's almost like you're going to get in trouble for that.
Are you fucking serious?
Nobody was allowed to outshine Michael Jordan. What you mean? You dare to try to outshine him, you're going to get in trouble. First off, if you're too hot, we're going to make sure we blow those whistles against you. Because now you're making Michael Jordan look bad. Because he's the GOAT of our league. You can't embarrass him like that. Think about it, people. I'm willing to debate with anybody in the world about this. You can't, there's no way professional sports can be 100% real. You have to organize it. It's a show. When you're on TV, anything you put on TV is a show. And that's what we saw yesterday with the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. It's a show. Ooh, scorched sauce. Sauce. In the building. He said, I thought I was the only one saying Tatum's injury was fake. Nah, homie, you wasn't. It took me, first off, when I saw fake, soon as I heard one of the guys calling the game, he said, oh, and Tatum's down. Fake injury. I don't even know what it was, but because they said it before they showed him on the screen. I said fake injury. I don't know what it was. I don't care what it was. Fake injury. What do you mean by that? Fake injury. Ain't even nothing to talk about. He can't get the blame, people. If the Celtics lose, you know what they're going to say? It's actually going to make him look good. It's going to be more like, it's going to be more like, yeah, but if, Tatum was good, they would have even tied it up 2-2, blah, blah, blah. But being that the Celtics is not supposed to win, we're going to save you. We're not going to have you as the blame because you are the number one option. Let's just keep it 100. Tatum's the number one, Jaylen Brown's the number two, even though I think they're going to break up. But you know how that goes. Tatum is the number one choice. Brown is number two. But then some people may think differently. But hey, Tatum, you're not going to be the one to blame. Because if you wasn't injured, you guys would tied it up 2-2. But you're not allowed to win. But so instead of you thinking it up, we're gonna let you rock, score all those points you can. When we get to our fourth quarter, when it comes to this knowledge of sports, real knowledge, let me say something. I do this. I really do this. I'm going to come from a different perspective. I don't want to hear the little. I don't want to hear what the shit that they. Once again, the shit that they talk about. I don't care about what they talk about. I want to know what you ain't talking about. Especially when it's something as simple as the things that we always say here in Rig Scripted and Fixed, and all the other channels. Let me just say that, right? Why don't y'all talk about that? You can't. And like I always say, listen, anybody and everybody is allowed here. If you think sports is 100% real, you are allowed to be here and voice your opinion. You are. But trust and believe, there's going to be a lot of guys in the chat they're going to challenge you. Once again, sports books cannot be alive if sports is real. I repeat, sports books cannot stay in business if sports is real. This is not like a regular casino. You know how people always say, "Oh, the casino when it comes to playing blackjack, when it comes to playing slots, roulette, craps, poker, whatever." Right? That's different. I can understand why they say the books is not the books. The house will always win because of the way the odds are. But realistically, there's no how could you actually have odds in physical think about it. This is not no machine. You know what I'm saying? Like slots. This is real human beings playing basketball. Was a 12-man roster with about what? How many teams the NBA have? 30, right? 30, something like that. 30, 32, whatever the case is. But you guys understand what I'm saying. How could you determine what team is actually really better with the odds that they always make the odds is? And then, not to be funny, when it lands on that certain number, these ain't stupid, bro. Come on, people. Oh, we got TB. I got to make sure, say it right. We got TB in the building. He in the chat. My man, what's up? He's back today. What's up, my guy? Let's see what y'all talking about. I'm going to start from latest up, though. TP says the fake injury move is an acceptable way to keep the superstar's legacy brand from being damaged in the eye of the consumer. Absolutely. That's exactly what I said. Bomb for that. Shout out to you on that. That's exactly what it is. It's to save, listen, it's to save you. That's what that is. All the time, all of the LeBron James injuries is to save him. Remember, like I said, I don't think LeBron James actually wants to play basketball anymore. I personally think that the NBA is making him play. He's not allowed to retire yet, right? But you know how that works in his favor? As he keeps playing, right? People's going to bet on him because of his legacy, right? All we can do is have him fake an injury. LeBron James, that's your way of resting. We're going to have you fake injury. Because you know what? We're going to need this money because there's a lot of people betting on you, Bron. They betting on you this game. Right? You know what we got to do, right? A lot of these greats don't want to play basketball no more. They would love to leave out on top. I do think LeBron James would have loved to leave out on top. Right? Michael Jordan would have had love to leave out on top. And think about it. Even after he won, when he first three-peated, right? He wanted to do it for his father, right? He did it. Even though I know that's still at a young age, he could have retired. Okay, that wasn't enough. Okay, he comes back and he does the last shot against the Utah Jazz. That right there would have been the best way to ever retire in any sports. To me, I can think of no better moment than to go out on top. That's how you got on. That's how you go out on top. Right? If LeBron James wanted to go out on top, this is just me. Technically, I would have left once I would have got Cleveland its ring. If this was so-called real, once I got Cleveland its ring, I did what I was supposed to do. Even though there was still more he accomplished. The whole thing, that's why it brings me back to Kareem. If he would have, once you do the Kareem thing, that should have been your last year right there. See what I'm saying? You leave out on top. But that's the discussion that we had yesterday. Go listen to yesterday's live, people. We spoke about that. But what we're going to do with players like Jason Tatum and all that, we're going to save your legacy. You want to know how we're going to save your legacy? We're going to make sure you're not to blame for the Knicks winning and eliminating y'all. And what I mean by blame is the reason why y'all lost. What we're going to say is, if you was playing and if you was healthy, you would have beat the Knicks. That's what they're going to say. I've been saying that about injuries for years. I remember when I used to first be on the whole fake injury thing. Oh, my God. Bro, people would say, yo, you're crazy. How do you fake injuries? I'm like, bro, it's not hard to do. It's one of the easiest things to do. Fake the injury. Take the best player, make him injured. That's how you do know that's one of their ways to get vacation, right? Besides the off season. Think about all these greats that are aging. And when I say aging, it ain't like they 50, 60 years old. But, I mean, in their 30s, let's just have them fake an injury. Oh, this is your vacation time right here. You do know that, right? This is your vacation time while the season is going. Fake injury. You remember when LeBron all of a sudden magically got hurt after he passed Kareem? Y'all ain't find that to be funny? After you passed Kareem, y'all remember that? Y'all remember, right? All of a sudden he was injured a whole bunch of games after you beat the record. Grotopia says LeBron is retiring soon. Yeah, of course. He's retiring. He should have been retired, but I think he had to play. They made him play. He didn't want to play this long. Cactus says, thank you, Bfyre. As a Laker fan, I tell these other Laker fans that LeBron act like he doesn't want to play anymore. Bron always gives off, I don't want to do. He doesn't want to play. And honestly, for that part, I really don't blame him. I'm not going to lie. When it comes to that, he doesn't want to play. Let him go out. He retired. Listen, NBA, he did what he had to do for y'all. He did what he had to do for y'all. He's not interested no more. A lot of us don't find him interesting no more because we just know what we're going to get. A whole bunch of people on TV jacking him off, but then they always come up short. That's what happens. It's boring. Make sure you hit that like button. It's boring. That's what it is. It's boring. He's too old and he's too tired. My man Noah E, he back in the building. What's up, my guy? Noah says, so are the Celtics really done for the future? Now, when you say that, what do you mean? Because that organization, listen, the Celtics organization will always be a rich organization. It will always be there because it's the Celtics. They got the most chips in the league. You know what I'm saying? They are the granddaddy of them all. The Celtics, like, when you think of rings, they are the final boss. The Lakers, so like in Mortal Kombat 1, the Celtics is like Shang Tsung. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, No, the Celtics are like Shang Tsung. The Lakers are like, they're like Goro. You see what I'm saying? Because they're in second place. You know when you get to that, when you got to go up the ladder, you know what I'm saying? You start from one and you go all the way up, and then like the third team, the third team is more like what, the Chicago Bulls or some shit, right? But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like they're the final boss when it comes to rings. You know, or you think about Mortal Kombat 2, Shao Kahn. You know what I'm saying? And then what they had, Kentaro or Motaro? Well, that was Mortal Kombat 3. So I know Kentaro and Motaro, one of them was in part 2, and the other one was in Mortal Kombat 3. But Shao Kahn was the final boss. You know? You gotta, Mortal Kombat is like basically my all-time fighting game, favorite. So you'll notice I connect sports to Mortal Kombat a lot, if it makes sense. Only if it makes sense. But that's what that is. You know, so to answer your question, Noah, for the future, the Celtics will always be there because they're the top dogs when it comes to those rings, right? But people perceive them like, when you think of the Celtics, you think of the Larry Birds. You know what I'm saying? You think about the Bill Russells. You know what I'm saying? Like think about all those rings Bill Russell got. It doesn't matter about the times. You know, we're not gonna argue about that. But the Larry Birds in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is people that's fans of Boston Celtics, they carry that on. And they seem to think that, like with Ray Allen, Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Rondo, that they was gonna be the same. They was gonna be on the same type of wave that the '80s Celtics was on. Hell no. Then you got the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns. You know, Celtics. People seem to think that they gonna be in the same wave as the Larry Birds and the Bill Russells as well.
Are you fucking serious?
It's not gonna happen. The Celtics are one-off teams. You see what I'm saying? They're going to get you one. Boom. Don't think about them winning no time soon, maybe another 10 years or so. That's their organization. Somebody prove me wrong. Caleb in the building. As Dixon. Building. You understand? So you guys understand what I'm saying? So for anybody that's on Boston, that's riding with Boston, you might as well forget about them. Forget about them for the next couple years. They're not gonna win. I always say, before a season starts, pay attention to what's going on with what teams, who they have, what player they have, what coach they have. I said what I said about Chris Paul, right? If you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, you have no chance of winning a championship while Chris Paul is the point guard. Guard. That's what they, you know what they call him. No chance. You got Doc Rivers as a head coach. You're not going to win. You know what I'm saying? Think about in football. If chances are, not to be funny, the type of black coach that you have, you ain't gonna win. If your team has a black coach, don't even root for them. I'm not trying to be funny, but this is what happens because the NFL makes sure you don't see too many of them raise trophies. That's why I say that. This is not my opinion. It's a fact. If you have a certain looking black quarterback, not going to say any names.
Are you fucking serious?
You see what I'm saying? Before every season, pay attention to what every team has, and you can immediately cross them out because of who they have. Oh, they're usually always choking. They're not going to win. Man, y'all people, man. Man, listen, man. And y'all got to wake up. At some point, man, y'all people just gotta realize this is about sports betting. They can listen. They can silence me. They can silence everybody else. The fact still remains. This is about. Just think about it like that. It's sports betting. It's all about sports betting. The leagues have deals with these sports books. Why does a league have a deal with a sports book? In no shape or form should that be. Sports betting was actually better when it seemed like it was frowned upon. When you had to do that low key. Shit, honestly, they should have kept it that way. And then not to mention, you got a lot of y'all do know the lottery, right? A lot of state lotteries own certain sports books. You know that's starting to happen more and more, right? So they're gonna make it hard for a lot of people to actually win. Pay attention to the certain betting options that they no longer have. A lot of sports books a couple years ago, right? Because we in 2025. Back in 2018, let's say 7 years ago, the certain options, 2019 as well, certain options you was allowed to bet on the app, certain things that they allowed, you notice they kind of cut that out because if you would have kept that, you could have took advantage of that. You could have cleaned them out. They already know what's going on. Oh, nah, people getting too smart. We got to cut that off. That's what I'm saying. They don't give you the edge. If sports is real, listen to what I'm saying. If sports is real, there'll be no reason for them to cut out any type of bet because we don't know what's gonna happen. Why are you cutting out something unless it's something that, like, come on. Like if the sports books is not gonna have something as dumb as are both teams gonna score 10 points in the first quarter? With some, it's either yes or no, and you can get minus 110 odds for yes or no if both teams is going to score over 10 points. You know, books ain't going to have things like that, right? But it's certain bets that they cut off that make you question and say, why are you cutting that off? Why you no longer have that type of bet? This is not like why that particular bet. Because they know what's up. It's the ones that they want to keep, the ones that they have the advantage of. That's the ones. What's up says, yeah, or make it hard to get the bet in. Obviously, when you know it's hard to get the bet in, you already know that's some shady shit that they doing. Now, we can't have too many people make this bet. They got to slow the bet down, cut it off. You know what I'm saying? It takes a long time, or they log you out in the midst of you trying to make that bet. Things like that. Come on, people. If this is real, there'll be no need for them to do that. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Noah says just 67 of the bets and 66 of the money was on the Celtics. Yeah, that's kind of quite a lot, though. If you look at the whole spectrum, it's a lot of money on that team. Des Dixon says they're betting on Richard's running man reference. Tell me not. This is how we got to con you into. This is how we have to con you into betting. We gonna make you think this shit real. Sports books, there's no way sports books can be in business if sports was real. Once again, I'm always gonna say that. If sports was 100% real, there's no way sports books can be in business. There's no how. How if they don't know what's gonna happen. I don't care about what analytics there is. It's still human beings. You don't know what's gonna happen. Seriously, you don't know what's gonna happen. Listen, not saying it doesn't happen on the norm, but these players, they take pills. Right? I'm not talking about like the drug addicts, but they take pills, they take certain enhancements, they do certain things. What if the best player happens to just drop dead in the middle of the game? Why is the odds so big to begin with? You don't know what I'm trying to say is you don't know what's going to happen for you to set the odds the way you set them up unless you know you almost going to get a guaranteed win because y'all all working together. You can have, I don't know, Boston Celtics against Detroit Pistons. Boston Celtics is a -17 on the spread. How do you know that? So you mean to tell me Boston is just that good? I thought all of these guys are professional players. Right? So let's just say the spread. Where do you get that number 17? Where do y'all come up with that number 17? And then if y'all do come up with that, what are the chances that it always actually, the Boston Celtics actually do hit that? They'll win by 18. They'll actually win by 19. How do you know that's going to happen? That margin, where do you get that number from? And why does it usually hit around that or some big blowout? You guys understand what I'm saying when I say that? Where do you come from with the numbers if it's real? You can't determine what's going to really happen in a real game. Now, then you'll have the people that will argue you and say, well, that's the reason why a lot of underdogs win. See? That's their way of proving the point. But no, because it's all about where the money's going. That's the reason why certain underdogs win. Where's the money going? Oh, yeah, money's going on this way. But we got something up their sleeve. We actually play. First of all these games are pre-planned anyway. They know a certain underdog is going to win anyway. So they'll make sure that underdog wins here. But then there's another game that nobody thought would happen. I mean, how can I say it? They'll find a way to recoup that little money that they had to pay out for the underdog that won. But then again, not too many people bet on that underdog anyway. Because they looked at the spread and saw that it was 17. I gotta wake up. Now, I say all that to say that's what happened last night with the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. That's why I'm saying what I say. That's what happened last night with the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. We're going to trick everybody. First off, we're going to trick everybody that's betting on Boston. We're going to have Boston lose the first 2 games. Boom. Right? Now, MSG. You got to be careful. But a lot of people, they think with their heart, not with their head. We already know what we're going to do with all these Knicks fans. We're going to have Boston win. And not only that, we're going to have Boston be up by 20 like they was in the first and the second game. But we're not going to have them lose. But there's going to be a lot of people in hopes of the Knicks coming back by 20. Why? Because what happened the first and the second game? Y'all don't hear me, bro. It's business. Yeah, you guys hear what I'm saying? I know what the I'm talking about. So now what happens? Okay, so now you have the Knicks lose by 20 on that third game. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have everybody be back on Boston now. Because we already know New York Knicks have a bad reputation in Madison Square Garden. Because look, they just got blown out by 20 on game 3. Oh yeah, most likely it's going to happen again. Or maybe it could be a closer game this time, but Boston will tie it up, go 2-2, and they're going to go back to Boston or some shit like that. Right? Oh, and then Boston is going to... Boston. What does everybody say? Boston has the better team. That's what people keep saying. Right? A lot of my coworkers were saying that Boston... I say to them, I don't know if I can really agree with that. I don't know who has the better team. It's all about what the league wants. It's all about what the league wants. We don't know if Boston has the real better team. That's why I never really like talking about that, on who's the better team. Now, it's about what the league wants. So okay, now, game 3, Boston did the thing. Now everybody thinks, oh yeah, Boston's definitely going to kill the Knicks now. It's over. You saw what they did, right? They win Madison Square Garden. and they won by 20. So when they go back to Boston Garden, you ain't gonna mess it up. They already gave away 2 games at home. I don't think they're gonna do it now. They're gonna finish the Knicks off, and then now look what happens last night. I gotta stop falling for that shit. It's a trick. I've gotten tricked like that before. I ain't sitting there talking like I have. Yeah, it had to take me to get burnt plenty of times to see what goes on in sports. That's the reason why I see things the way I do. It had to take me to get burnt to have the stance that I do. I'm like the fly in the wall type of person, or I'm like the person that if all the guys over there talking, I'm gonna be on the opposite end and I'm just gonna shut up. Is it because I don't like y'all? No. It's because I'm gathering some information with a couple of things that I'm looking at. While y'all all talking, y'all being played because look over there. It's right there. They letting you know what's going on, but you pass it. It happens a lot. Listen, I got like that, y'all. I can admit that plenty of times. They get you. That's how they get people. That's why I couldn't usually bet. The Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks series was not it was not a good idea to bet on the series game by game, to keep it 100 with you. This was one of the series that you either go for it or not. If you take Boston Celtics, you gotta take Boston Celtics and parlay it with something else so you can get a good number, right? For Boston to win the series, that is. You know, if there was something else you knew was gonna hit, you take that so you can still get Boston in, cash in lovely, right? But you can either still take the Knicks and you can get some real good money, +3 something with the New York Knicks. You was in a good position. Betting the series was a good idea for the Knicks in Boston, not per game. I bet on game 1 because Boston usually does what? They usually lose the first round. The first game. That's just what they do. They usually do it. So I say, yeah, I'm taking the Knicks. Won it. But I also thought, yeah, I think the Knicks going to the second round and they're going against Boston. I think the Knicks are going to beat Boston because everybody knows that the Knicks are bad second round. And so now you're going to get a defending champions the second round. Who you think everybody's going to bet? Shit crazy, right? What's up says, that's why I try to find the rig and be emotionless when betting. There you go. That's exactly what you have to do. Don't be so serious with it. Just look at it. I tell people, don't put too much heart in a team. Use it as just business. This is business and this is betting. I'm betting and rooting for y'all because I still root for teams, but you know why I'm rooting for teams. I'm rooting for teams because I want them to hit that spread or I need them to win that game and such. I can't have no favorite team when the outcome of the game is already determined before it even starts. What am I rooting for? Who am I? That don't make no sense. That's like a lot. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of Cleveland Brown fans. Not to be funny, what do they actually go to the games for? Do they need a break from life? Right? Or do they actually think they can actually lift the Lombardi trophy? I don't think they think that.
Are you fucking serious?
No. That's how we can get people when it comes to sports. Let's make them think this shit is real. They need a break from life. They need a break from work. Right? They need a break from reality. Let's get these asses in these seats in these stadiums. I love this team. They're gonna win. You understand? You understand? You understand? It's a perfect trick. You have to know what you're getting into when you watch sports. That's it. When I watch it, I know what I'm getting into. I can't put too much investment into a player. I wake up, get myself ready. I'm anticipating a great game. I'm going to this game. By the way, I paid $400 to get into this stadium and watch this game. I think it's going to be a great game. I got this player's jersey on. I'm truly invested in him. I really believe that he can win a championship. I have a man cave and I decked my whole man cave out with his jersey and the team logo everywhere and everything. I root for them very hard. I really believe that they're going to win a championship. Little do you know, the league has no plans for that player to ever win a mother effing championship ever in his goddamn life.
Are you fucking serious?
That's exactly what happens with sports fans. Tell me I'm wrong. Case in point, especially the new people. Not the new people here, but the new fans, the young fans. When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they do. You got the older guys and women, they going off of that 1995 and they going off of the past. They going off of the Troy Aikmans, right? Right? They going off of that. You know, Jimmy Johnson was the coach, and that's what they're going. That's what they still think is now. That's what you see what I'm saying? It's you put so much equity and time into a certain team and player. They don't got no mother effing chance of winning. The F is wrong with you.
Are you fucking serious?
That's my team. We won. Shout out to Money Man on that one. Now, am I gonna sit here and act like I was one of them? I wasn't one of them. To an extent, I wasn't all the way like that. Last year, or I think 2 years ago, I showed you guys my little fanboyish ways. Right? Oh, my fault. I showed you guys that. Right? Remember that? I had every single Tom Brady jersey. Every authentic Tom Brady jersey. Right? Or maybe I was just too cocky because I was on the winning side, right? The Patriots. Nobody can say, there's not one person that really knew that could say I was on the bandwagon. They couldn't say that because remember, if they know I was a Patriot fan before the winning ways because I was a Bledsoe fan, right? Just so happens that they ended up with Tom Brady and the winning ways. So some people think you're on the bandwagon. No, I was a Patriots fan before the winning, right? But then when I realized what was going on in sports, I couldn't let them play me no more. See what I'm saying? You can't play me no more. I know what's going on. I was always fishy about certain things when I was young anyway. You know, but it was more like, I don't know for sure. So I can't really just... But when you just start to see it more and more, you like, something ain't right, yo. Something ain't. Especially when you could put $1 on this game. if there's money to be made, the perfect way to make money betting a game is for what? It's for the team that you are, how can I say it? The team that you want to win, you actually fade them, which sounds crazy because we have both teams participate in a rig, or not even both teams. The team that is favored, that's supposed to win, that you are expected to win, you just have them have an off night. That's the easier way, because rooting for them to actually accomplish their goal, that's going to make you more nervous because you're like, now you're sweating like, damn. So the easiest way to do it is, no, have them have a bad game. That's how you know, okay, I can win some guaranteed money on that. Just point shave. If everybody's expecting y'all to score over 105 points, make sure you stay around the 90 or 85 mark. It's just that simple. That's it. That way I don't have to sweat you trying to get over 105 points, because then that other team is still working hard to defend you, right? Quote unquote. They're still working hard to defend you. So you know what? Since they're going to be working hard to defend you, why don't you just slack off? It's the easiest way to do it. My man Davion Watkins in the goddamn building. Guard your children. Alias, was you just here? You just got in, right? I feel like you just... My man Alias in the building. Guard your children. So I'm sorry I had to go on that rant, y'all. I apologize. I really feel like I was ranting right there. But it needed to be said. I see your comments about certain teams. I still root for the Heat and Dolphins, but don't bet on them. That's what I'm saying. And you know why? You know why you don't bet on them? What's up? It's because deep down inside you already know something is fishy. No pun intended with the Dolphins, but yeah, something is fishy, right? That's why. You know what I mean? Davion, he on lunch break and all that. That's what's up. He come, checking out the rig scripted and fixed afternoon edition. You gotta be emotionless when betting. See what I'm saying? Listen, I'm reading your comment. This is what I'm trying to say. I just want all of you guys to stand by the shit you're saying right now. That's the only, listen, if everybody had this thought process, things would be much better when it comes to sports. Or at some point, they're just going to have to say, yo, listen, this is all a game. It's all WWE. Honestly, I would accept it still. I would still watch. I would still watch, to be honest with you. If you let me know, but don't sit there and try to act like it's one way when we know it's not, because you're showing us something else. I say all this to say, listen, professional sports leagues, you have to try something else besides the whole fake injury thing. The fake injury thing, sooner or later, you're going to have to come up with a new thing. Even though I do know it's probably the easiest way for you guys to make your money. Injuries. Right? Just like play props. Right? When a player is supposed to score over 27.5 points, he'll get to like 20, and then magically he'll get ejected. Right? Or if he doesn't get ejected, he gets, what's that? He gets injured. My man Young Mello in the goddamn building. Guard your children. Hey everybody, shout out to my man Neil. Now this is the real Neil, right? because you guys know about that other Neil, but this is the real Neil. He's been here. He's been a supporter. So yeah, he's not the other Neil. This is Neil who's been here. This is the real Neil. My man Neil in the building. Neil says, lock of the year, Cowboys +7. It's going to be the same outcome as when Brady blew out Mahomes and then played the Cowboys, tossing 400 on week 1 of the Cowboys. Now, he's talking about the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Am I right, Neil? That should be, because that's going to be the first game. Cowboys versus the Eagles, from what I know. That's what he's talking about. Take the Cowboys with the +7 against the Eagles. Week 1. Listen, I can't wait to get to football. You know, you already know how we are when we get to football. You know how that goes. So yeah, that's something that we definitely gonna have to get into. So everybody, yeah, you heard what he just said. Neil says take the Cowboys with the +7. Try to get that in. Try to get that number in now against the Philadelphia Eagles, week 1, not preseason, but week 1 of the NFL 2025 season. Make sure you guys get it now. Neil with the info. There you go. Yep, good strategy with the injuries. I'm telling y'all, once y'all get that down packed, you already know what's up. That's the reason why I stay away from player props. I really don't like player props like that. To be honest with you, I don't trust player props. Player props are dangerous. They're real dangerous. Because this is what happens. How could you say it's real when you have player props? All I gotta do is pull them out the game. If player props was real, what if every star player said, yo, I'm gonna guard there, I'm gonna hit my over. Now, that's when they're not rigged, because they're sitting there telling you, I'm going to achieve my goal for my team, or shit, even for myself. You would think that's what they want to do, right? Wrong. They don't want to do that. If I don't hit it, it's easier to not hit it. Let's all make money. You want to sit there and tell me this shit real when I can control the outcome off of a goddamn bet? You must be bugging.
Are you fucking serious?
Lost 1,100 fading the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm back. Oh, man, you back for blood now? Remember, man. Oh, yes, Neil, I forgot. Because you was one of them that said that the Chiefs was going to repeat. And we tried to tell your ass there was no way and no chance in hell that shit was going to happen. No chance in hell that was going to happen. But the player props, except when playing for bonus. I mean, yeah. Now, if you had a bonus and all that, because they gave you that. All right, go ahead. And you know, unless money could be real tight for you, you have a bonus and you actually trying to make something of it, yeah. But yeah, if it's a bonus bet, you try your luck and be like, all right, yeah, I'll probably even do a player props parlay or some shit like that. If it hits, it hits. If it don't, it don't, because it was with the bonus that they gave me. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so WhatsApp says no player props except for when playing for bonus. No. I'm trying to figure out what Melo's talking about. Because Melo said, yeah, he's not, because Tatum's getting hurt is an excuse for Boston fans to say why they couldn't come back from 3-1. Well, yeah, that's going to be the narrative for sure. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of it. We're going to have him fake the injury. We're going to say, yo, he was hurt. That's why we couldn't do it. He was hurt. Jason Tatum was hurt, and that's the reason why the Knicks was able to go on. And like I said in the beginning of the show, for anybody, If you want to take advantage, you can get the Knicks winning the Eastern Conference at plus 125. I'm pretty sure we all know that the Knicks is going to win this round, right? So now, are the Knicks better than Indiana? Oh, excuse me, man, that's not professional. If the Knicks is going to beat Indiana, or if the Knicks is going to beat Cleveland, if Cleveland comes back, you can still get it priced now at plus 125. So I'm letting you guys know, if you could take advantage of it, please take advantage of it, depending on, I know everybody's money's different, but if you could throw a little bit something on it and get a plus 125 odds for the Knicks to win basically 5 more games before any team beats them 4 times, right? Because Knicks still got to beat Boston 1 more time, and then they have to, win in the Eastern Conference 4 times. So the Knicks they have to get 5 wins before a Boston team possibly can beat them 3 more times, or another team can beat them 4 more times. So that if you really think about it, take advantage of that. I want you guys to take advantage of that if you can. Sprinkle something. If you can, you get a couple dollars. Shit, if you're somebody that only has $25 to spare, you finish everything else, take care of everything else, but you have $25 to spare. I'm not some betting guru, but I'm saying it's worth the risk. $25, it can make you be like, damn, I wish I would have put more. I really do believe that it can happen. But also, if you doubt the Knicks, you can still get the Pacers at a plus 210 to win the East. How about that too? If you don't believe in the Knicks, you could take the Pacers at plus 210. Boom. You already know what that is. You bet 100, you can win an extra $210. Walk away with 310 altogether. You know what I'm saying? I want to help you guys as well. You guys have certain information too that you give out. That's what I want this community to be about. If we see it, take advantage of it. Neil says, said it here first. The Eagles missed the playoffs. Saquon gets hurt for the season by week 3. Y'all heard that, right? Look at the comment section, y'all. Neil says, read it. Read the comment section, y'all. What y'all think about that? Y'all think that's gonna happen? That's an interesting thing to say. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of an interesting thing to say. I want to know what you guys think of that. Why I get the feeling that I could see some shit like that happening. Can any of y'all see some shit like that happening? Let me know. I can see some shit like that happening. Because usually that's what happens with champions. Now, we already know the Eagles, they're not, absolutely positively no way in hell that the Eagles are gonna freaking, what they call that, they're not gonna go back to back. We know that's not gonna happen.
Are you fucking serious?
But y'all see it right here on the screen. Y'all see it? Let me put this up a little bit more. You see it? Said it here first. The Eagles missed the playoffs. Saquon gets hurt for the season by week 3. Do you guys believe this can happen? Young Mello said the Eagles are not repeating. Yeah, no chance in hell that happens. What's up says, well, how would that benefit the NFL? Are you talking about the Eagles not winning? Oh yeah, easy. Because let me tell you what happens in sports. Whenever a team wins, people usually love to bet on them repeating, especially during today's times. I feel like the Eagles and the Celtics had the same thing last year, both last season for both of them. It's like they cruise through the season. You guys notice that? Or even the playoffs. Let's say playoffs. They cruise through the playoffs. Put that right there. You know what I'm saying? They cruise through the playoffs. The Eagles kind of cruise through the playoffs too. They did. I truly think they get. Oh man, they get a rude awakening this year. And about that, let me just put this out here. A lot of people asked, why the hell did the Eagles win this year? I think it was bigger than the Eagles. It was about America. Well, we said that, right? We said that, right? The whole, the bald eagle. This is I'm representing America, bro. So you notice eagles. Okay, it's a type of a bird, and birds fly through the sky, right? So the same year the Eagles win, right after the Eagles win, you guys noticed all these damn plane crashes that we had?
Are you fucking serious?
Birds, they call planes birds, right? That bird in the sky, they call plane a bird, Eagles is a bird that wins. Y'all remember the bird flu scare outbreak earlier this year that they was talking about, right? That even this year is not even over, so it's a chance that the bird flu can still spread, right? Right? Y'all find that funny about like so many things dealing with birds happening this year, right? Who had the #1 seed in hockey? I remember I said that too. Wasn't it? Oh man, what's that team? The Jets, right? The Winnipeg Jets. Everything dealing with birds, or like jets, or planes and shit like that. Bird flu, Eagles win. Winnipeg. It was so. See, that's how I look at things. For those that don't know, I look at things like that. It may sound like some conspiracy theory shit, but things just don't connect like that the way it does. I forgot to share that with you guys too. But I think I wrote something like that on my community post. But like to deep down dive in that shit, we never had this conversation. But I noticed that as soon as the Eagles had won, I didn't think the Eagles. At first, I don't think that. I'm like, the Eagles winning the chip, but it was like I don't think the Eagles would raise another trophy when your man Nick Foles just did, because I was saying that and I stood firm on that. But if it had to be the Eagles versus the Chiefs, most likely I'm gonna have to go Eagles, because I was firm on the Chiefs not three-peating as well. So it's like now you got to pick the lesser evil. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Yeah, the Jets, Winnipeg Jets, #1 seed. Think about that. There's always birds and planes, things in the sky. This year, and the Eagles happen to win the championship the same day all these planes happen to fall. Pay attention to all that shit. Mel says that's how they like to operate. The media is selling it like the Eagles are already back in the Super Bowl. Bro, watch when it's time to start talking about football again. When it's time to start talking about football again, watch. They're waiting till after basketball season is over to officially start talking about football. You guys know that. After the NBA Finals is done, right? And you know the whole thing with, and you know they still gonna have a draft talks, but after that they're gonna love to get into football, and then that's when, watch all that Eagles talk, and for all you people, just know that the Eagles may end up like the Boston Celtics, and your man Neil actually said, yeah, they're gonna end up. Your man Saquon, he's gonna be the end. He's gonna be the one ending up getting hurt. So be careful betting on the Eagles. Anybody watching this, don't bet on the Eagles. Saquon for injury is a must this year after having a good season. He's going to get punished. Don't forget about the plane crash that literally happened in Philly like a week before the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, of course. And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then wasn't there also a plane landing or crash in Washington, D.C. as well? Right over there. Uh-huh. Right? And then how about the one that was flying from, where was it going? Was it going to Pennsylvania coming from Missouri or some shit like that? Remember, or is it that one too as well? All these connections, people. All these connections, these things don't happen. They don't happen by accident. I'm sorry. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. Yeah, he's on to something. Saquon gets hurt, or if not, hurts, gets hurt. Well, damn. Yo, I had a let's see if we get some news tonight. Maybe we can be random tonight, right? The night edition. Only if we get some good news. I'm willing to go live. Told you I ain't gonna let no sickness mess this up. I want to see what we get. What type of news we get. What's gonna happen tonight? Is it a rap? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, is it a rap? Is it a rap for? Oh no, series tied 2-2. Is it a rap for Cleveland tonight? Denver, OKC. What's gonna happen with this? Are they gonna keep going back and forth? That dumb shit. I think OKC has to pull it off this time. OKC is -10. What you guys think? Let me see. If Saquon or Hurts gets on the Madden cover, oh yeah, we know about that. One of them's getting hurt. If y'all know about the whole Madden cover curse, yes, absolutely. You know how that goes. You go on that Madden cover curse, chances are you ain't gonna win. That's something else that a lot of people seem to not want to talk about. The fanboys, they act like that doesn't exist. So anyone that just came in, make sure y'all watch the whole playback of this live. We didn't do no call-ins today. If we do a live tonight, a random live tonight, we could do some call-ins tonight. We didn't do no call-ins today. I wish we should have, but I was ranting. I had to rant. I apologize for that. That was my fault. I had to rant because I'm sick and tired of these fanboys. I can't stand these fanboys, and I'm sick and tired of the media lying to the fans. I'm sick and tired of the media lying to the fans. I am. I'm sick and tired of the media lying to the fans. I'm sick. I'm sick of it. And so with that being said, is it rigged? Is it scripted? Is it fixed? I don't know. You tell me. I'll see y'all later.